tuning in to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show with your host, Michael Carvelis.
How was your weekend? Welcome to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. This is Daily Dive. I'm your host, Michael Carvelis, as always here as we recap week number 2 on today's show. It is 1:01 p.m. here on the East Coast in Georgia, home of the Swarm, who beat the Mammoth 16-10. And I believe it should help them out in the standings because I figured out this past weekend before the game started that, the goal differential matters more than I thought. And maybe because no one even talked about the goal differential like that, but it's a big deal. So big 6-goal victory for the Swarm. We'll talk about the end of game penalties in that one. That is pretty interesting. We are presented by our Daily Dive store. Head to the link tree in our bios right now. Check it out. Click it. Love it. Buy it. We got holiday ornaments. Hanging on your dog. Hanging on your cat. Watch your cat run around and play with it. And then hang it on your tree if you didn't break the darn thing. Also, tickets.12ouncesports.com. If you want to go to a National Lacrosse League game, forget who needs ESPN Plus. We got the cheapest tickets on tickets.12ouncesports.com. You're welcome, by the way. And we are live exclusively on 12 Ounce Sports every Monday through Friday. If you want to check clips, head to YouTube, check Reels and other great graphics, head to Instagram, and also follow us Daily Dive Lax on Twitter as well as Instagram for updates on the show. Okay, let's get right into it. Game recaps presented by our Daily Dive store. First game we're going to get to is the Georgia Swarm and the Colorado Mammoth. 16-10, Georgia won in front of 6,590 fans. I'll tell you what, though. That arena was very loud if you're watching the ESPN Plus broadcast. Now, granted, take that with a grain of salt because last time I checked, weren't the Falcons the ones that got in trouble for using fake stadium noise? I'm kidding. It sounded like it was about 7,000 people, which is about what it was. But I thought there was a very interesting concept to think about. Maybe the Swarm were stealing a page out of the Falcons book, but whatever it was, the game was very good. It was close at first in the first half, but after that, Georgia pulled away. Lyle Thompson had 4 goals, 3 assists, picking off right where he left off in the Mann Cup. And, of course, at the end of last season, Brett Dobson had almost an 80% save percentage. And the Mammoth started the goaltender for the Mammoth was Tyler Carlson, who faced 51 shots and, of course, allowed the 16 goals. But they had no Dylan Ward. Granted, I don't know. Does Dylan Ward make this game that much closer, though? Because, again, this is not playoff Dylan Ward. We're talking about regular season Dylan Ward. Just a thought. Just a thought process I'm thinking of here. I did have the over in this game, if I'm not mistaken, of 23 or 24 and a half, and that did smack. And we'll get to other bets that we did. One of them was just I'm still devastated, but we'll get to that. Next game I want to get to here on Daily Dive is the Rochester Nighthawks beat the Saskatchewan Rush in Saskatoon 16-14. This game was very surprising with the score because I had a poll on Twitter, 7 of you voted on, so congratulations to us, big whoop. Would one or both of the goaltenders be pulled in Frank Giuliano and Riley Hartley? Well, Riley Hartley didn't start. Riley Hutchcraft did. Riley Hutchcraft also watches the stories on Instagram regularly. What's up, Riley? Good to see you, sir. So he got his second goalie win. But despite the 30 goals being allowed, neither of them were pulled whatsoever. So Riley stays in for Riley Hartley, who I guess is just the second stringer right now. And the Rush, who pretty much led this game by 1 goal most of the time. And so Connor Fields says, dang it, I'm better. I might be the best lefty in lacrosse. I got a text from somebody saying, well, Michael, you might be right about Connor Fields because he might be better than Jeff Teat. Well, good. How many? Come on, man. Give your boy some props here because I graded Jeff Teat had a bye week. But Connor Fields in back-to-back week has at least 4 goals. and even in assists as well. In this game, he actually had 7 assists. So the dude's a menace. He was actually getting kind of roughed up in this one and stood up for himself. And I've been told by others who have watched him since his early days that he's not old, but you get it from his early days that, like, he's like a small guy from like a Catholic school. No offense to I'm just saying, like, it's a thing. And so it's like Connor Fields obviously probably has a chip on his shoulder. Like, he's not the biggest guy. He's like a Sean Evans with even better stick skills. Like, the dude's incredible. Connor Fields incredible. Took over the game, and the Nighthawks got the win 16-14 in a game that I had the over on, and that did hit. Calgary Roughnecks lost to the San Diego Seals 9-12, and the total on this one was 22.5. It just snuck under, so you're welcome for that. Seals got the win and the under hit. So again, our bets hit. And this week was going pretty good if those were the games we bet on, right? Fantastic. And the low-hanging fruit is right there in front of you. You know who that game is. We're going to get to that. But basically, this game was the very late game on Saturday. It was sort of at 10 p.m. Eastern. San Diego has not reported their attendances yet, so that's kind of frustrating. We could not get that from any of our sources, and usually when Daily Dive cannot get it, it's not available right now. So that's a thing. In this game, Del Bianco did all he could. Jesse King had 6 assists and 1 goal. Tyler Pace had 4 goals of his own. But there's just the defense. You have to wonder, because defense, I mean, to be fair, they allowed only 12 goals to the San Diego Seals in San Diego, right? Maybe it was a playoff atmosphere, which it kind of was. But there was only 7 penalties. I say only. It feels like the Roughnecks. I need to know their offensive identity right now in Calgary. They've got good players in Calgary right now. Like Zach Currier does exist. But Zach Currier having 11 loose balls, 2 caused turnovers, only 1 assist, seems like we're just going to shut him down, and that's the offense. And I know I just mentioned Jesse King had this and Hayden Dixon had that. But, like, Rochester's got Connor Fields. Buffalo, oh God, I don't even want to talk about them right now. Buffalo has Josh Byrne. New York supposedly has Jeff Teat. Like, there's number ones in the league, and Calgary has a number 1 goaltender, and that's about it. Now, transition's good, but when Kurt Milosky's not there, you might have to have some more offense, and right now, I just don't see it. And I know I was one of the ones who said, hey, this team was leading by 5 goals in Rochester. Well, I mean, come on. And to be fair, in this game, the Seals were actually trailing 3-1 to start the game. So I'm not like making any narratives here about this, but Calgary's blown 2 like consecutive leads. Now, granted, 3-1 is a lot better looking than a 5-goal lead to Rochester with the backup goalie coming in. But I don't know, man. I think Calgary needs a number 1. I think they do. I think they need a guy who's going to come in there and just dominate. And I don't feel like they have that besides Zach Curry and Christian Del Bianco. And to be fair, those guys do not play offense 90% of the time. Dane Dobbie had 2 goals, 2 assists. Curtis Dixon had 4 assists with 2 goals. Austin Stotts, 4 goals, 2 assists. Took 13 shots on goal, but that's none of my business. Next game I want to get to here, the Wings and the Rock. Now, this game got very interesting at the start because we know Tom Schreiber's hurt. Okay, that's a thing. We don't know how long. Still haven't found out what the crap's going on there. It would be nice to know from the NLL if they want to grow their fan base, hey, Tom Schreiber might not play for the next 10 weeks or he might not play for the next 2 weeks. We don't know. It's just frustrating seeing that happen. And then on the Philadelphia side, Holden Cattoni was out. What was that crap? What do we got here? Well, in this game, Mitch Jones for the Wings, 1 goal, 3 assists. Sam LeClaire under the goal. Blaze Riordan, who was electric in game 1, only had 1 goal in this game, only got 4 shots off. As for the Toronto Rock, guys, I'm telling you what, Mark Matthews stepped up. In his debut against a very balanced and potent Wings team, granted their defense has been in question, but this game again was only 11-7. And that one surprised me because I thought this one might sneak over. But Nick Rosie, was standing on his head with 45 shots and 38 saves. It looks to me like the Rock just didn't let him shoot. I caught a little bit of this game, but I didn't catch the whole thing. But I do know Mark Matthews dominated, and that's the point from this game we want to take away. I'm going to make sure we have any more games before I want to talk about the next one here. Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. Let's do it. Let's talk about it. Heading up to this game, the Buffalo Bandits and the Albany Firewolves in Albany, not that it mattered who was in Albany, because there was like Buffalo fans everywhere, according to Adam Levy and others who were at the game. This game, actually, I thought there was a lot of fans there, and like I said, most of them were probably Buffalo Bandits fans. But the money line was minus 395. The spread for Buffalo was at 3.5. Defending champions, yeah, we lost last year in Albany, but who remembers that, right? And then right from the get-go in this game, this is what I hate about betting sometimes, about sports betting, is that you're so dang confident, and from the first quarter, you don't know if it's the demons inside your head just like bugging you, or you don't know if it's just actually happening, you're just getting screwed. So sitting and watching this Albany game, I watched the entire, like from start to finish, and I noticed early Dane Smith was not very aggressive. Like Josh Byrne was doing a lot of the touches, which is fine because Josh Byrne, there was this debate last year before Dane Smith was my MVP that Josh Byrne could have been the best player on the Bandits, and Josh Byrne screwed around and had 2 goals, 7 assists, and 6 loose balls. But that's not whatever. That was not the problem here. They're also, I know Alex Simmons had 5 goals. He's a rookie. Had 5 goals on Matt Vince. Maybe Matt Vince doesn't know his tendencies, but this is where I'm getting to the part I really didn't want to get to today, but I have to do it. Buffalo fans, I want to give you credit for showing up in this game because your team should have stayed on the bus because that's where they basically left their game. I don't know how else to put that without being evil and being mean and being the old Mike, but no one is safe on this show. And now there is a concern. The defending champions and defending 2-time Eastern Division champions, rest in peace to that they have lost in Albany to start the season in back-to-back seasons. Last year, screw it was a one-off. This year, unacceptable, unexplainable, stupid. That's what this was. You have no excuse. And I'm going to tell you why I believe Buffalo lost this game. And I don't think fans want to hear this part. I don't think Dane Smith or Josh Byrne want to hear this crap. You're going to hear it from me right now. You let a bunch of rookie underdogs get in your head in the first quarter. I repeat that. The defending champions of the National Lacrosse League let a bunch of rookies who have only 2 players on their roster that are 30 years old get in their heads in the first quarter. I don't know what they were saying to you. I could care less. I don't know what you think that if they were telling the truth, I could care less. You screwed over an entire fan base that came to see you play and to see you dominate, and you wet the bed. What does Alex Simmons was involved in some of these little skirmishes, although no penalty minutes were called. Alex Simmons is 24 years old. What is Alex Simmons? Who is he intimidating right now? He's 5'11", 180. Dane and Josh, you would bully this dude if you guys were in high school right now. So when you have a bunch of young guys that are clearly the only way to beat Buffalo in this game was to get in your heads. And you're like, well, that's not going to happen. These guys are too smart. They're too focused. I couldn't tell. I find it's almost like one of those times where like, is sports like, is it rigged? Like, I'm obviously not saying that, but these are the things that make you question that. Like minus 395 on the money line, 3.5 point spread. Like, what? And their only good player is supposed to be Doug Jamieson, the goalie. All you have to do is pepper him. But wait a minute. Not only was Dane Smith defending his teammates from a bunch of young kids, Dane Smith took 3 shots. Did you know, from a little bit of quick research, you're welcome, Dane Smith, the last time he took 3 shots or less, 9 years ago. 9 years ago, the finals MVP took 3 shots or less. Twice in his career, in 2013 and 2014, he took 3 shots or less. Were you hurt, Dane? I don't care if you think Josh Burns got it tonight. What the heck are you doing? And these people are getting 5 assists. That's the Jeff Teat argument. That you're a forward. You are electric. Your team is sucking it up. A bunch of rookies are in your head, and all you can do is watch it happen? What are you doing, Dane? Josh was trying his best. He was the only player on the Buffalo Bills that stood out in that game, and that is frustrating. Again, maybe I'm coming from somebody who put in a couple of shekels, but it's like it doesn't matter about that part. The part is the league was watching you. You're the defending champions of the next major league, and you simply didn't show up. And not only did you not show up, you got pissed off at a bunch of rookies. It doesn't make any sense. It is unacceptable, unexplainable, and just stupid. Again, they had 1 chance to beat you in the entire game, and that was to get in your head and say, hey, you're soft. What point are you trying to prove? Who cares? I actually don't think Bandits are a gritty team. I think that they are just so good and so much of a well-oiled machine, they don't have to be. But when John Tavares is quoted on the broadcast by the reporter by saying, well, we need to shore up our back end, that doesn't mean your back end is getting blown out. Because what the heck was that? You got simply, I cannot explain how you let a bunch of kids get in your heads. I don't care what they're talking about. You took it personally. And unlike Callum Crawford, you're not 39 years old. You're still in your prime. That shouldn't offend you. Come on, man. This game goes on Dane. I'm sorry. This game goes strictly on a player who was my MVP last year, who was the finals MVP, who called me out and simply just watched his team lose. I know Albany had an answer for every single thing. Doesn't matter. You're Dane Smith. And like they were talking about, well, Dane plays defense, which I called out last year. I said, well, great job, Dane. You're playing defense. And it's like, it didn't even matter. I'm not going to blame Matt Vince. I'm not going to blame the other guys. Dane Smith should have done more in this game. Sometimes passing is just not good enough. And I'm a LeBron James fan, so let that sink in. But sometimes you just need to take the shot, Dane. And 3 more shots than myself and producer Joe did? $500,000 contract? Nah. I ain't buying that. Nope. No, sir. When I come back, we're going to talk about our 3 stars of the weekend, so don't go anywhere. I know you won't.
Don't go anywhere. Daily Dive will be right back.
BetUS.com is the official place to place your bets and support 12-ounce sports. All you have to do is go to BetUS.com and type in the promo code 120Z and you'll instantly get a deposit bonus. This is America's favorite sportsbook. And remember, always gamble responsibly.
in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show. This is Daily Dive. I'm your host, Michael Carvelis, once again, as always. Reminder, you want to experience National Lacrosse League action. And Bandits fans, while I do apologize that your star player did not show up in the game against Albany, you showed up. But next time you show up to a road game, tickets.12ouncesports.com is the place to go. We thank you so much for supporting the show. 12 Ounce Sports is an official ticket broker. Better prices than Ticketmaster's guaranteed. I don't know, usually when Charles Barkley says that, it doesn't really work, but whatever. You understand. Tickets.12ouncesports.com. Thanks so much for that. And you're welcome as well. All right, before I get into our 3 stars of the weekend, I do want to mention in the Georgia Swarm game, there were 24 penalties, including 70 penalty minutes on the Georgia Swarm. Why? The game was 16-10. Wasn't that rough? Yeah, you're right. It was not until the final quarter. In fact, 22 of the 24 penalties came in the final quarter. And Mike Manley was caught in a skirmish that I thought was very peculiar. He was punching a player on the ground because, Mike Manley, I think he's a firefighter or like a state patrol guy somewhere. So you don't want to mess with Mike Manley, from what I've heard. And Mike Manley was being wrestled by officials. Some other guy came in from the Mammoth to stop him, and it looks like he was getting some shots. I don't know if he got any shots from the officials. I don't want to say it, but it was a weird angle. And basically, long story short, he had 2 game misconducts of like 10-minute majors or 10-minute misconducts, whatever they're called, and a 5-minute major. Now, I have learned from watching the NFL last season that they will sometimes suspend players for those things at the end of games. So that is something to keep an eye on. If Mike Manley is suspended for the next game, if he doesn't show up, you probably will know why. So I just thought that was an interesting concept that the NFL has, is that when you fight, sometimes there's a line to cross. Like, yeah, they'll let you fight, but that was a little bit much. And I hope that Mike Manley is not suspended for the sake of lacrosse fans, but sometimes got to lay down the hammer. Okay. 3 stars of the weekend, presented by tickets.12ouncesports.com. Hope you guys are ready for this one, because, listen, first of all, the graphic is incredible. I do say this for myself. Boom! It looks good, right? So, I didn't want to do this to Buffalo, but I'm just going to pile on. Albany rookie Alex Simmons. I know I said he was 24. I know I said Josh and Dan could bully him. But the fact is, this guy had 5 goals, 3 assists, and 6 loose balls. He was on fire. He completely took over the game. I think they interviewed him at halftime, and he was like kind of confident, but he looked like he was kind of surprised that they were actually leading. Then after the game, he's like, yeah, we had a great game. Like, the dude's on fire. I don't even think he realized what was happening. He was like, oh, this thing's going in the net. Let me keep on firing this puppy. They said he's a generational cornerstone type talent. That's what Brendan Glasheen and his broadcast partner were saying. Looks like it. Albany's 2-0. We literally have a giveaway on Daily Dive Lax on Twitter that if they win 3 games, I'm giving away a $50 Fanatics gift card and some merch. I don't want to have to do that. Albany is really making this tough. They win 1 more game, I am screwed, and you guys are happy. So, we're all Albany Firewolves fans. Well, you guys are all Albany Firewolves fans. All right. Connor Fields, Rochester Nighthawks. I have put this guy consistently in top 5 lists. I said he was the best player in lacrosse last year. I do remember I said that. I said Connor Fields was the best player in the National Lacrosse League last year. But that was a big debate. Oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, 4 goals, 7 assists, 7 Lucy's. Lucy's not from the show I love. It's from picking up some, ground balls. And then, of course, the mailman, Mark Matthews. I did not see this coming. And granted, it wasn't like some amazing, crazy performance, but it was still your team debut. You're down Tom Schreiber. Their team is pretty much full cast besides Holden Catoni. 4 goals, 2 assists, and I put the 2 loose balls because it happened. But Mark Matthews, good job, sir. You deserve our credit. You get our 3rd star of the weekend. 3 stars of the weekend presented by tickets.12ouncesports.com. We are so excited you are watching today's show. And again, you want the best tickets. You want the cheapest. I don't want to say cheapest because that's what I mean. Affordable tickets. Like, who wants to pay a bunch of money when you can see the same product for less? Tickets.12ouncesports.com. Also, I like this right here. Before I get out of here, I just want to show something to you guys because this is like very fun to me. I want you guys to do something whenever you get home. Well, not whenever you get home, but like, oh no, memento. Do me a favor, go to the link tree in our bios. Look at this, it moves. It's like, imagine this thing twisting on your tree. I don't even care if you put it on your son. Like, if your son is like 3 years old, just put it on him. The Daily Dive pom-pom, the threads on this thing, I'll say it again, just look. Boy, I could have done that any better. Thankfully, I didn't. The Daily Dive hoodie with our beautiful logo on the back. And their diving man right there. Our Daily Dive mug, it is warm out. Warm. It is cold in most places besides where I live. There's our Daily Dive Badass Daddy Cap. And what is this promo? What? Use the promo code DADDY for free shipping on your order. That's not bad. Stickers. You can put that on the back of your car. That'd be kind of cool. These are just suggestions. And of course, only lacrosse fans will get this shirt. A lot of people make a lot of money off of only lacrosse. That's all I can say. Our Coca lacrosse shirt is fantastic as well. Enjoy the game while sipping a cold brew. Lacrosse. That's one of their best ideas ever. Daily Dive pint glass. I'm probably going to get one of those soon. This is producer Joe's special right here. Box over field lacrosse emoji. That's genius. That's what we put on the store for you. So I just want to show you guys that. But I also want to show you guys tickets.12ouncesports.com. This has been a fun show. The attendances, of course, for the weekend, I'll show them again. I thought Saskatchewan was popping. I thought Georgia was popping. Panther City needs to be. I need new glasses, as you guys can tell. I think folks in Panther City might need telescopes. Because I don't know where I don't know if I should do this or not. Maybe I shouldn't. But I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna look up these something for you real quick. Because I had fun with this last year. And I really should not be doing this. It's really sad. But we're gonna show you some videos here. Come on, man. Yeah, there are not. Stop this. That is a lie. Come on, man. There are not. That's a lie, dude. I love it. Like, the graphics guy just did not show anything else but those players. These are all from Panthers. This is all from the credit to them. Come on, man. What is this? That's a great looking stadium, by the way. I mean, you're like, when we were getting, dude, what is this? Guys. There might be 13 people at that. Come on, man. I'm sorry, that was extra footage for the show. All I know is that we got to stop doing that, man. If that contributes to a million people going to the game this year, I'm gonna call Commissioner Ferd. I'm gonna say, Brett, come on, man. Can we start? Let's start doing some math here, and let's start taking off let's start subtracting every Panther City game, and we'll see if we still have a million fans. I mean, I thought Albany was bad. Albany actually had a good showing, thanks to Buffalo fans. Too bad their team didn't show up. This show stinks. All right. Thanks so much for watching Daily Dive. Follow us, Daily Dive Lax. We're live on this place right here, 12 Ounce Sports. This has been a really fun show. The show went off the rails quickly. That's okay. We got all week to talk about it. So, for everyone that watches this show and consumes this horrible content, you're the bread, you're the butter, you're the expired milk. Then just thank you, because that's what we are right now, is expired milk. For everyone that comes on the show as a guest, we are not worthy, as you could just see. For everyone that feeds us information, thanks, dog. And for producer Joe, sup, daddy. This has been Daily Dive. I'm your host, Michael Carvalho. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. 12 Ounce Sports. Adios.
Thanks for watching Daily Dive. See you next time.